potentially get a better, like, ring-outy kind of stage, because that one was about as neutral as it gets.
Right.
I really wish that Outlaw had found an opportunity to use Soul Charge to effectively mitigate the some of the time from Gro's Soul Charge. He just didn't really have the opportunity, unfortunately. Ends up getting about as neutral of a stage as you can get, assuming that the fountain isn't a possibility. So it looks like this could potentially be the very last game of NEC for 2021.
And if it's beginning to be the last game, it's looking really good for Linkorz's momentum so far. As he pushes him towards the corner over here, we are stepping up just the rate at what this match is going. It went full straight all the way through, gets the 3B launch, and that's very acceptable to that point. Man, what do you think that's going on, JQ, for so far?
It's really just a matter of like the stage positioning. It's really just a matter of trying to... Outlaw seems a little bit lost. He's not necessarily able to pull off the same amount of damage that he's typically able to.
Right.
Meaning that normally the characters that he's fighting against don't do as much damage as him. So they can't hit even if they hit as many times as he does, he can still eke out in the damage.
Right.
But with Gro, especially with Gro's Soul Charge, you can't necessarily say the same thing.
Right.
So it's just really tough stuff. And this Soul Charge, doing quite a lot of damage, ends up getting not the back grab that he was hoping for. That 3B ends up getting GI'd. Outlaw trying to out-clutch it, but it doesn't really seem to be working out. Link is just constantly doing -12 things over and over again in Outlaw's face. Outlaw doesn't have the ability to really punish it to a significant degree.
That's going to be the rise of
and that's going to do it.
No,
it's
he
not.
didn't do it again.
Oh, wow,
Pops
that's
the bubble.
That's
wow.
It. Wow.
Okay, so immediately when you saw he hit that first punish when he went for that same option, and then the second instance he didn't hit it as often, and that would have had them that round.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh, that's a very egregious mistake for him that round, but it's even still like, and we see some Caliber guys getting hyped up in the background. Kamai just popping off over there.
Kamai literally twirling and dancing. It's kind of insane. Siegfried with the meter advantage, but again, I'm not necessarily as impressed with Siegfried's meter as I am with Gro's, and Outlaw has really just used his meter for just like random CEs. I kind of wish he was using it for something else. And the exact same situation we had before, not too predictable.
Nice, but this
we
is
had the
like
3BB
the final round.
into 1 AK just as we did before, and then he went into the cancel on top of it. It was crazy.
But the only thing that's preventing Outlaw from potentially losing and having Linkorz being our NEC 2021 champion is the fact that he's sitting on full resources. So we're going to see what he's going to be able to do in this instance, but it's not looking too good. It's looking like an even back and forth. Oh my gosh, how do you feel like this match is going to
punish some of these things, and he needs to use his meter.
Oh,
no,
not
like
he didn't get
that.
to use the meter in that instance,
Oh,
but he got caught in stance.
Yeah, I mean, he gets like the CE, but now he's completely out of resources.
Yes.
And this does a good amount of damage, but it's not even going to tie it up.
Look, he's going to have to do this honestly if he wants to make that comeback. Yeah, he is.
This is going to be really, really tough. He's dealing with
a
tank of a character in Gro that just overwhelms him in all of these small pokes. He can't even punish anything where Gro goes buck wild.
And that
is going
to close it. We have, I guess you could say, our consummate top champion, Linkorz.
NEC champion, yeah.
Is going to take it. And as you said before, the metric, the statistic comes true again. It'll be 2 times that Linkorz comes with Gro in grand finals of NEC and takes the entire tournament.
With a character he does not main.
It's not made at all.
That he specifically does for either player or character matchup specific stuff.
But that is a testament to the level of skill that Linkorz is playing at so far, you know. And I was saying before, this is much more of like a national, like regional event, you know. Shout out to Northeast Championship Majors, you know, for giving this event out and offering the opportunity for a lot of top players to come through. But as far as Linkorz at his level, his such an understanding of the game, I'm just so excited to see. Yeah, and a lot of characters as well. Like, I could not tell you. You had the read because you're so on the pulse with the community and everything, and you understand, like, matchups and different things like that. I'm not as adroit, but just to the degree to what he used Gro, he had him for a specific task, he is going to be my Siegfried assassin. And that's what happened in that sense. You
that's
know,
exactly
especially
what happened,
and that's exactly what happened in that case by, you know, using the Amy, having to go towards that struggle, even though he is confident, you know, even though he does, but at the end of the day,
it's totally fine. It's just that Amy is such an, he is the kind of player who will pick characters that are overwhelmingly stronger in matchups, even if they're matchups that Amy doesn't necessarily do badly in.
Right.
So, for instance, like, he won't play Amy against a character like Astaroth, even though, in my opinion, Astaroth versus Amy is a perfectly reasonable 5-5. He will still go with Gro just because it's so overwhelmingly in Gro's favor as compared to his other characters, that even though it's not Amy's the character that is like virtually the only character that he practices. He feels more comfortable switching to a different character so that he can view certain things. Well, a lot of the stuff that you ended up seeing there was just the fact that, like, again, the poking game, Siegfried's is virtually non-existent compared to Grow, which is a typical thing. Siegfried tends to bob and weave and try to do that Frazier style where he just tries to like hit like that 1 or 2